If America were inherently racist and endemically racist, like the media will like to say all the time, why do you need uh, hate crime hoaxes or racial hoaxes to prove that? This is a hidden Nigeria. And here's my perspective. Please like and subscribe and press the notification button. You'll be glad you did. So, like I said in my opening, if America, the United States of America, were inherently racist, or if they are endemically racist, or like you will see in the mainstream media, or you will see the left talk about all the time, saying, or you also see it in racial groups like what do you call them, the NCACP or whatever they call themselves. I really don't fancy them, and then maybe many other groups that are that they will say they are formed by black or colored people. So many times they will say America is racist. And for somebody like me, obviously a Nigerian, watching from outside, I used to look at the whole thing and say, I don't think this thing is true. I don't think it's true. Because if it were to be true, why have so many people heading towards America, to live in America, for example? And also, we have seen multiple times race hoaxes. What are these hoaxes? Somebody will tell you, oh, he or she experienced a hate crime, and especially those whom they will accuse of that hate crime are usually white people, that they used to accuse, or some imaginary white people that they want to accuse. A case in point was the Justice Smollett story. We remember that it was in the media. They threw it up over and over. It went on a loop for a whole year, until it was proven that it was a lie. And clearly, it was a lie. It was a lie. And while doing a bit of research before I talk about this issue, because I've had this issue on my mind for years, before I come in today to say I will talk about it. While doing some research about these issues, I looked at one of these New York posts that I looked at, and between 2016 and 2019 alone, there was about maybe 17 or 18 hate crime hoaxes or racial hoaxes that the media really pushed, only for them to push it for a few weeks, and the truth came out that there was nothing like any racist thing about the whole thing. And going back to that Joseph Smollett story, it probably would hit home very well for somebody like me, because obviously he used two Nigerian guys to act like white guys, to say they are the ones who attacked him somewhere in Chicago on a very cold night, like I said. So it was two Nigerian guys that he used. And whereas he said it was two white guys, two MAGA hat wearing guys who attacked him. But back to my questions fully. If America were inherently racist or endemically racist, why do you need these hoaxes to prove that point? Why do people need to go the extra length to lie to the public, to set up situations, or to put graffiti on walls, like that that sports guy, like he did sometime. What's his name? That sportsman, the football guy, like he did sometime, and he deliberately wrote things in his own bakery, in his own business establishment, just to prove that point. Just to prove that something was, there's a race there, America is still racist or something of that nature.
Former NFL player Edon Kaufman has been charged with staging a fake hate crime in Georgia. Gwinnett County Police say Kaufman damaged his own business's property and spray-painted racial slurs, a swastika, and MAGA around the establishment to get insurance money, saying in a statement, quote, "It appears as though Edon conjured a premeditated plan to damage his own property, attempt to make it appear as a hate crime, file a claim with his insurance company, and sell off the undamaged appliances and electronics." Police were notified of a burglary at the Create and Bake restaurant and Kaufman's Creamery and were told the businesses were also being damaged. The statement says they were notified the suspect drove a black Chevrolet Silverado with no license plate. Authorities found Kaufman in the truck, later learning that he owned the businesses and had reported the damage to his insurance company but had not called 911. Cans of black spray paint and a yellow crowbar were found in his truck. Kaufman was arrested and charged with false report of a crime, insurance fraud, and concealing a license plate. He has been released on bond.
So I look at this whole thing most times and I keep asking myself, why would people do this? If any community is racist, you don't have to prove it to anybody. It will be obvious, fully obvious. This takes one to the aspect whereby this is part of the reason whereby I most times don't believe people who will say, oh, like they say sometimes, no, there's police brutality on a daily basis in America, the places in somewhere like America, and they will say young black men are being killed every day by the police, and which is a pure total lie. It's a pure and a total lie. And they will talk about this, but if you throw it into the media, throw it into even some of these so-called A-list actors or sports stars or whatever, and they will come out in the media and talk about things like this. And you see the media men, whether they're white, whether they're, especially mostly on the left, saying things like, oh yes, young black men, colored people are being killed on a daily basis by the police every day. That will make them go into that defund the police thing that they talk about a lot of times. So if America were truly racist, why will you need to lie to prove that point? Why will you need to lie to prove that point? You most times wouldn't need to lie to prove that a place is racist. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there a few people who could probably be racist in America? Yeah. You could have them. But in 2024, it is never like it was 400 years ago. It is never like it was 200 years ago. It is never like it was even 80 years ago. It is not like how it was 40, 50 years ago. A whole lot has changed in the United States of America, even for somebody like me watching from outside. So you may not. So the hoaxes, the fact that you see people and the media throwing hoaxes around, trying to prove that America is racist via hoaxes, shows you that maybe it is obvious that the United States of America is obviously not racist. Obviously not, and we've probably seen it over time. Yes, Obama is not somebody I fancy. Obama is not somebody I fancy. And because I don't fancy him, I wouldn't say something like, we obviously saw how he was and how he became president. If that country is fully racist, somebody would have kicked him off the scale. At some point, somebody would have kicked him off the scale. He wouldn't have gotten to that office at any point. He wouldn't have. That is if truly that community is effectively as racist as they are supposed to be. So one of the things we need to really understand at this point, I've been saying earlier, is that I really and personally don't think America is racist. I personally don't think they are racist. And I personally don't think the average man, woman on the street sometimes are just mere racists walking the streets of every part of America. I really don't think so. Okay, are there ignorant people? Obviously, there are ignorant people. Obviously, there are. Obviously, you have a whole lot of them who are ignorant, who may probably will act in ways that they are not supposed to act. Now, these so-called racists, can they be? Can you have some of them who could be white? Absolutely. Can you have some of them who could be blacks? Obviously. And to tell you the truth, I have personally observed that there are way more black racists in America than you think. And the reason why I say this is that I've watched their reactions. I've watched the black community reactions many times on a lot of issues. There was a video I did some times back, I think, which I posted, and it was this Kathleen Clark story, and along with her with the Reese girl, and the engagement that they had in the basketball matches that they played together, and the whole hype around it. And one thing that I found out was that because Kathleen Clark, came out on top and she was able to do well. She's a white girl. Reese was a black girl. And she came out well. She not only did well, she performed well. She played the game well, like a true boss. And it was obvious, that probably riled some people up and riled some black guys up, which, this is just my opinion though, riled them up. And they were like, hell no, you shouldn't be probably a white girl. You should be playing this way. And after that, eventually the girl got endorsements from companies like Nike and what have you. And getting that endorsement, you could see the dint of I'm not using the word, no, not hatred now, but the dint of displeasure in some black people. I'm not saying all of them, some black people about that. And they were like, they are not supposed to give Kathleen Clark that type of contract. Nike shouldn't have signed her or what have you. And whereas these are people who fully, because the blacks are really good in basketball and in a lot of sports like that, and the basketball, in a way has been probably dominated by even, black players because they are good. They are that good. So these are players in the past. When I say in the past, just even up till now, you still have them getting the biggest contracts along from all these companies. And they get all these contracts. Nobody will say anything when they get all these big contracts, all these big endorsements. But all of a sudden, Kathleen Clark gets one, and you have displeasure all over the place. If you ask me, that is racist. That is racist. That's racist. Somebody saying, this is not cool. You don't like the fact that girl, because she plays well, obviously she plays the game of basketball well for her level, for the women level. And she got the endorsement. Why are you angry with it? Why are you angry with it? So that's why sometimes I used to say you have a lot of black people who are silently racist themselves. They are silently racist themselves. So also you have some white people like that. So also you have Asian people like that. So also you have Arab people like that. But in all this is not the number of races I think you have in the United States of America, for example, is not you don't have that spread whereby you can say, America is now inherently racist. If they are racist, I don't think any immigrants will have a place to stay in that country. I don't think so. And besides, every one of them who comes from the community of color, what have you, would have been so much subjugated. And don't give me that. I know a lot of people want to throw that institutional racism thing out here again. Don't give me that. That's an old excuse. So this is part of my perspective. This is part of what I believe, that America is not inherently racist. America is not inherently racist. If it were, you wouldn't need hoaxes, hate crime hoaxes. whether the hate crime hoaxes is religious or whether it is racial or whatever. You won't need such things to prove it. You won't. You won't need such things to prove it. So anyway, we can engage in each other in the comment section. So once again, thanks for being here. This is Sahid in Nigeria, and that is my perspective.